work in an office. Have children. Celebrate wedding anniversaries. The world of heterosexual is a sick and boring life.
You like quotes, Howard?
What do you mean?
Oh, you know, like famous quotes. I find reading them inspirational, and in my reading I've come across some I thought you might like too.
Well, I'd love to hear some.
There's one that goes, "Blessed are the forgetful, for they get the better even of their blunders."
That's Nietzsche, right?
Yeah, in here I thought I could tell you something you didn't know.
Oh no, it's a good quote. I'm happy we both know it.
Yeah. Oh, and there's this other one I like. It's by Pope Alexander, and it goes,
Alexander Pope.
Yeah, shit. It's just that I told myself not to say Pope Alexander and sound like a dope, and then I go ahead and say it.
It's no big deal.
You're such a sweetheart. The quote goes, "How happy is the blameless vessel's lot, the world forgetting by the world forgot, eternal sunshine of a spotless mind, each prayer accepted, and each wish resigned." I want to be a great, big, huge elephant. A huge trunk like that.
Welcome back to the show, listeners.
Welcome back.
This episode has been a long time coming.
It's been a long time coming. I've gone back and forth if we were going to do this as a Patreon watch with this episode, but I think this movie is special enough to need its own numbered episode of the podcast.
I agree. And listeners, Scott has been hemming and hawing about whether or not this show fits into our little show's tagline. But,
we'll talk about it.
We just figured we're going to do it anyway, because guess what? It's our show.
It's our show. It's true.
Listeners, my name's Pete.
And I'm Scott. And these are the movies that made us gay. Very special friend of the pod, Amber Shaw. Welcome back on.
Thank you for having me.
Last on for Hedwig, probably.
Yes.
You were in the last apartment when we did Hedwig. That was a while ago.
Oh, goodness. Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Over a year. I mean, over 2 years.
Yeah, but Amber, you have your Bartletts with you. You're
what
ready
is
to...
so funny is, like, at that time when this movie came out, I had, like, an antique copy of Bartlett's that went everywhere with me. I had painted quotes on the walls of my apartment. Like,
I love it.
I was that girl.
Your favorite Pope Alexander quote. Quick. I'm sorry, I meant Alexander Pope. I never owned a Bartlett's, but I think my sister may have. And I think we definitely had one, like, in the PR firm that I worked for, just because there was just so much, like, literature everywhere for us to, like, get inspired by.
I remember tracking down Pope Alexander from the Norton Anthology collection in college.
Oh, sure.
And finding the poem.
Oh, yeah.
There.
Specifically looking for it.
Specifically looking for the poem.
All right.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Well, Scott, why don't you get into it? What did we watch today?
We watched Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, directed by Michel Gondry, written by Charlie Kaufman, released March 19th, 2004. This movie feels like it should be only 4 or 5 years old. This movie is over 20 years old.
This movie is over 20 years old, but you know what? I was thinking, I mean, I think about it every time I watch this movie, but this time especially, I'm thinking this is a couple of years before an iPhone was in anybody's hands.
Yeah.
You know, social media was Friendster. In 2000, no, we were on Facebook.
You had to get on a physical computer for social media.
Yeah. I think Facebook was still in the colleges in 2004.
Yeah, like,
so
I
we're
don't
on
think I
MySpace.
even had a MySpace at this time, but like,
oh, I think this even predates MySpace.
Okay, so we're on Friendster. So the thing is, it's like all of the ideas in this, they're sending letters to your friends and family. Don't talk about so and so anymore.
Now it will be a text message.
But but now they would have to have some sort of app to go into your phone and to go into your social. How do you delete somebody from your socials? Like, you start again.
Well, and I think what they did brilliantly to make it kind of perennial is there's not that much technology of any kind in this movie.
And when it is, it's analog technology.
Right. Well, I was going to say, Michel Gondry is a very analog kind of a director, and it definitely has that feel and everything. I mean, everything, all of the technology in this movie is very vague of what they're doing, and that's on purpose. But yeah, I think 5 years later, it's a completely different story as far as how believable can this be, with smartphones, really. That's kind of it.
Yeah, and I feel like that there's a beautiful innocence to it that you can't really capture the same way if you're throwing a bunch of technology at it.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know that this idea could have made it past the pitch in a world of technology and social media and everything like that, because again, there would just be too many pitfalls of okay, but they're gonna see you online, or some old random cloud is gonna regurgitate a picture that you forgot to delete, or
Yeah, it's one thing to ask a person to just bring in all of... I mean, and that's still a big ask. Bring in everything in your apartment that makes you think about them. And it's okay,
even if social media was not involved, would Pete and I have to bring in the entire apartment?
We just have to move.
Yeah, we're a married couple after X amount of years. But, I mean, there's people in there with their dog, how do you... pack up everything, right? And that's a big enough ask as for the audience, but throw in something like social media and smartphones and all of that stuff, and it's we're just so embedded in each other's lives in ways that maybe we don't need to be. But
well, and now random internet strangers know your life.
Absolutely.
So again, you would have to mass email, text, Facebook message.
Yeah. You'd have to hand Dr. Mierzwiak your phone and your laptop, and he would have developed some app or some tech to go in and pull all this out.
I mean, they do have the tech to go through your brain, so maybe something like a cell phone would be easy then.
But this is forensic, e-discovery kind of stuff that my old job used to do.
Are you being Dorit from the Real Housewives? They have to go in and get everything.
Forensic detectives. Yeah, they have to. E-discovery and cybersecurity and all that. That's what that shit does, and that ain't cheap. But I love the idea that Dr. I mean, we're jumping way ahead.
Yeah.
But that Dr. Mierzwiak is just this little, a dentist's office on Long Island. He's really, I think, only servicing the community that he's in.
Well, and the fact that Joel was able to get in so quickly and I saw this postcard and the next day I'm going to do it.
He kind of strong-armed his way in there, but still, they made it work for him. But again, that's Michel Gondry. And I do want to talk a little bit at the top of the show about Michel Gondry and kind of his humble beginnings.
Well, let's talk
music videos.
Okay, so are we going to do when we first saw Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, or do you want to get into Michel Gondry first?
No, let's talk about when we first saw it, because that's our usual.
So I remember when I was in high school, and I was a subscriber to Premiere Magazine, and I remember in their fall 2003 issue, there was a write-up of Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind with a November release date. This probably went to press in September when they thought maybe this is going to be edited by Thanksgiving or Christmas time. And I think probably when the issue went to press, it was already pushed to spring. But I remember the photo of Jim and Kate. It's the very last scene in the hallway where they're where it's that shot of them sitting down in the hallway. And I always remember seeing that image kind of going into fall of 2003. And I knew this weird movie called Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. I always thought the pairing of both of them was interesting because it was something that you don't really think of Kate Winslet in a Jim Carrey movie, and then kind of reading the premise and being oh, okay, so this is from the guy that did Being John Malkovich.
And I feel like that was the time where they were starting to do a lot more let's take this really wacky comedian and put them in a serious role. That was really popular in that time in film.
Yeah, this is the kind of elite version of the stocky stand-up comic with the hot wife.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. So I did not make it to this movie sort of in its initial run just because living in a small town, this movie was never going to play near me.
Yeah.
Living in Lewistown, I mean, I think that you would have had to have gone to one of the big college towns like Missoula or Bozeman to possibly watch this movie.
Yeah.
But I had to wait until when I was starting my freshman year of college at MSU Bozeman that I went to this at the campus theater that was in a classroom. You sat in desks and they projected it. I'm pretty sure it would have had to have been on film, but I watched this in a college classroom, and the theater was called The Procrastinator. And you know what movie every college freshman fucking loved was this movie. Like, straight out of the gate, I remember film students buying this poster to put on their college dorm.
Yeah.
I mean, Charlie Kaufman is made for.
Yes.
I am in college. I am studying film, and I want to sound so deep.
Yeah.
Let us only talk about Charlie Kaufman films.
And I want to say that it was a mere weeks before it came out on DVD, and I remember driving to Walmart in college.
Oh, when you finally saw it,
and
it came
like,
out weeks later.
Buying the DVD.
Yeah.
Like I had just watched it 2 weeks later, driving to Walmart and picking up the DVD.
Sure.
That has since moved with me numerous apartments across state lines.
Isn't this one of the movies that we somehow have 3 copies of?
Oh, yeah. Because, I mean, both of us had a copy of it. And then
But then wasn't there a third DVD
there was
there
a
somewhere?
third. I think it was my sister's.
Okay, yeah. But one of them was empty.
Yeah. And I still can't when I go through the DVDs, because sometimes we sell stuff that we have doubles of, or if we have it in 4K,
or if we buy,
and I can't bring myself to part with any of the duplicates of Eternal Sunshine. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's my backstory.
Okay.
I watched it at the tail end of my first big serious canon event, adult, I put in quotations, relationship.
Right.
So watching this movie in the deterioration of a serious relationship was kind of okay, I'm feeling a lot of things. I was able to find the humor in it much more later, and especially this time, because watching it back then, it's I am in this. But at the same time, if I could forget that relationship, that would be great, and I would never
sending out all of your friends the card.
Basically, yeah.
I saw this at a second run movie theater. I saw it at the Academy, so that means it has been out for
probably in the summer,
a few weeks. And I'm trying to find the director's label DVD that I had of Michel Gondry and what year that came out, because I was obviously, being John Malkovich, very influenced by 1999.
Yeah,
that's released. What's the next one? Is it Adaptation?
Adaptation. Well, I mean, he had directed and wrote Human Nature. Have you guys ever seen Human Nature? It's not that good. I remember kind of tracking it down.
Yeah, I was going to say there's a movie in there that
I remember tracking it down my freshman year of college, and I mean, maybe there's a reason why people don't really talk about it.
Right. I remember seeing Being John Malkovich and being like, okay, holy shit, right? And I mean, of course, that is Spike Jonze. And at that era, 1999, I'm in my very early 20s. Spike Jonze is very influential on me as a director of music videos, and now this movie career starts, and it's this insane movie, right? Again, Adaptation, I feel like I wanted to love it more, right?
Adaptation's a movie that I don't really revisit that much. But
I
remember really liking it.
Yeah. But then Eternal Sunshine came around. I saw it on a date. I saw it at the Academy. And I was just, I mean, it was something that really got me. I'm trying to remember the timeline of these director's label DVDs that I had.
Okay, so I remember watching that DVD you're talking about. I remember borrowing it from the guy that lived right next to me in the dorm. So it was out by 2004. And there's an infomercial for Lacuna on it.
Oh,
so I think it was probably right when the movie was coming out.
Okay.
Because the teaser trailer for this movie was an infomercial.
Sure. Okay. It says that they were released in 2003.
Yeah.
And I scooped those up right away. I got both the Spike Jonze and the Michel Gondry DVDs. I did not get the others. Chris Cunningham, Mark Romanek, Anton Corbijn, Stefan Zednawi. But I got those two, and I just watched Michel Gondry's, the way his mind works.
What were the big videos from that? It's the
Around the World.
Daft
Punk.
It's the Kylie Minogue video where she's walking around the circle on the street. Coming to My World. The Everlong video, right? With the big hands. That's Michel Gondry?
Yes, he did that. Foo Fighters, Everlong. He did, let's see. Trying to get there. Shosha Cannonball. Okay. Oh, no, these are the Spike Jones ones. Chris Cunningham, Other Word. Okay. Let's see. Hardest Button to Button, White Stripes. That was a Lego.
Okay, I remember that.
A Lego stop motion. Or that might have been Deadlies in the Dirty Ground. One of those two. Fell in Love with a Girl, also White Stripes. So for the Bjork videos, he did Yoga, Hyper Ballad, Army of Me, and Isabel, and Human Behavior. So like a ton of those. Foo Fighters, Everlong, Around the World. But all of his videos were like, the video that I love, the Chipamato video that can only be described as a visual palindrome. The way it starts and ends and then flips on itself, and it's a split screen. They're just...
Where do these ideas come from?
What the fuck? How do you think? How do you start?
Well, I mean, that's a good segue into how Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind came about. Do you guys know this story? So Michel Gondry and co-writer Pierre Bismuth, they became friends in the early 80s when Gondry was a drummer in a French pop band, and they kind of thought during their friendship they would kind of think about these weird ideas with each other. And I think that Michel Gondry thought of the idea of erasing somebody from your mind, and you find out that you get that postcard. Like, that was the idea, that so-and-so has had them erased from their minds. Please don't mention them. And he pitched this idea to Charlie Kaufman in the late 90s, probably around the time Being John Malkovich was getting made, that he gave him this idea of write this as a movie script. I think that Charlie Kaufman ended up doing the movie that he directed, Human Nature, and finishing up Being John Malkovich, an adaptation. But he later came back to the idea after it sold, because I think that the idea of the script had already sold to this production company, and then a little movie called Memento came out. And this production company really wanted Charlie Kaufman to finish the script, just because Memento was such a huge fucking deal. And it's kind of that same idea of playing with memory that both of those movies have, that they're like, Charlie, you have to finish the script. Like, Memento just made a lot of money. It got an Oscar nomination for Best Original Screenplay. We want you to finish this movie. He turned in the script. They were not happy with it. Because I think that the idea was that they were maybe looking for a thriller of this premise, not really a quirky romantic comedy. But that's not really the movie that Charlie Kaufman really saw in this material.
And honestly, thank God.
Yeah.
Because I do not want to watch a Charlie Kaufman thriller.
No.
Ever.
Yeah.
He didn't want to make a thriller. He wanted to downplay the science fiction aspects of the memory erasure and focus on the relationships. Everything that I've read and the interviews for this movie with Kate Winslet, everyone talks about this production being really hard, just because it was a really complicated movie to shoot.
Yeah.
And just kind of execute this weird script that Kate's kind of said in interviews that when she read it, she really couldn't even think of a possible finished product because she just thought it just seemed impossible to even film.
Well, even just watching it this time, in the first scene, watching them play it out, and, now that we all know what the conceit of the film is.
Yeah.
But I can only imagine reading that script and then trying to piece together the timeline in your head as an actor, and then also trying to be like, well, what emotional beats do I need to hit? Because what does my character know? and what has been erased, and like, are we in reality? Are we in a memory?
Yeah.
Like that is, I feel like that's just every day you have to reset your character of like, where are we now?
Yeah.
Complicated.
It really takes multiple viewings
Yeah.
to really even understand, like you said, that this movie starts at the end and then
It circles back on itself.
works its way completely backwards to
then
the
it kind
beginning.
of,
and then goes back to
it
the end.
resets in the first 30 minutes too.
Well, but it's still the end of their relationship because
Yeah.
it's his memories being erased in reverse. So everything is going backwards, from that day. And yeah, I think the one of the first times in the movie that you're just like, oh, okay, this is what they're doing to us, is when like you just said, the credits of the movie, the opening credits of the movie start to roll about 25 minutes in. And you're like, oh, this movie hadn't started yet.
And I forgot about that. And when the credits started popping up, I'm like, oh, we didn't already do this?
Yeah.
We are
Did
so
we?
deep in.
Did I forget? Yeah.
I can't remember what movie I was just watching that did that.
It was, the
I just saw a
movie was
movie
very heavily influenced by this movie. It was Twinless.
Okay.
It was Twinless.
Twinless,
And
yeah.
He had a couple of other beats that were very specifically Eternal Sunshine, not just Michel Gondry, but this movie in particular that he really borrowed when putting that movie together. And they did the same kind of a thing where it kind of really started the plot into motion, and you're like, oh, here we go, opening credits, and again, about 20 minutes in. It wasn't as long as this movie. This movie is you forget. You're like, oh, here we are.
But also a tight hour and 10 minutes too.
What, hour and 40 minutes, you mean?
Yeah, hour and 40 minutes.
Yeah.
Or no, not even hour and 40 minutes. I think it's 110 minutes. I think it's like an hour and 40 minutes. Yeah.
That is an hour and 40, yeah, 110. But again, that's just the way that Gondry's ideas kind of work. And I don't know how much of that is attributed to Charlie Kaufman. Maybe he turned it in chronological order, but I don't think so. But when you watch a lot of the Gondry music videos, a lot of it is time folding in on itself and things repeating and motifs repeating themselves. And it's that George, for any Star Wars nerds out there, there's that George Lucas quote of like, oh, it repeats itself and it's like a visual rhyme. But doing these things where you break the story open and these events happen again and again and again. And in this movie, kind of to go along with that very analog world that Gondry lives in, each time we see an iteration of something, it's been erased once before, so the fidelity gets worse and worse each time because it's a copy of a copy of a copy. And so we start doing things like faces start getting distorted and details in the background start getting erased. And again, these are things that upon first viewing, maybe you notice them, maybe you didn't. But then when you are watching it at home, you're like, all the books in the Barnes & Noble are blank on the shelf. And when did that happen? Did it happen right now? Was it always like that? Just these little minor details that really just kind of
And I think
with
that
you,
plays
viewer.
really well into the idea of memory, because when you
Yes.
start recalling something,
Yeah.
you do kind of give it that wash of like, there was a wall of something and it's just colors or just like a pattern of something where you're
Yes.
not filling in specific details.
Yeah.
And I also love that the cast of this film is so small. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
8 people talk in this movie, and you don't like there's not extras getting a lot of screen time. You're not really focusing on anybody's face. So even when they are in reality, it still feels like a memory. And again, in a lesser director and writer's hand, this would have been a disaster.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Let's see. Yeah, I think even when we are in the bits of but there's so little of the movie that is kind of like a quote unquote reality or what's going on in real time, and I guess it's everything after Joel wakes up from the procedure. That's where the movie starts, and then that's when it starts again at the very end. So I guess that's not a memory, and then everything else kind of is. But you're right, even in those moments after he wakes up, it's still just like, what? he's so out of it too that he's just like, what's going on? Like, why is my car have a scratch in it? Like, what the
Well,
hell?
in most of reality, the reality, the present that we see is when Joel is unconscious.
Right.
So the most time we spend in reality is with all the people who are erasing his memory.
Yeah. Yeah. Going back to when we first watched it, what an influence it had. How fast did it take for you to go out and buy the soundtrack, Scott?
Oh, I think I bought it probably less than a month later.
Yeah.
I definitely had it
Oh, a month. All right.
while living in the dorms.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you buy the soundtrack?
Of course.
The CD? Yeah.
Of course. And I think at one point I had the poster, and then
Yeah.
just in successive moves it ran away, because I feel like that
I'm
image
the
was
same way.
so ubiquitous.
Yeah.
Like you saw that image of the two of them laying on the ice.
Yeah.
So
Everywhere.
I was that different kid that bought a different poster. I bought
The bed.
a poster. No, I bought a poster that it was a bunch of different pull quotes. It was probably for when it was being put back in theaters around the time the Oscars came around.
Okay.
That it was done kind of like a checkered pattern, and there were quotes from critics on it. That was my poster that I had.
All right.
Because I
So
saw it
fancy.
hanging. I saw it hanging in a movie theater, and I thought it looked cool.
I didn't have a poster, but my desktop wallpaper was them in the bed on the beach.
Yep. I think I had that as my desktop wallpaper. One of my
great
old
image.
PCs. So I think that one of the big things that I went back and forth of covering this movie is I did kind of think, is this movie too straight to talk about on the podcast? But I kind of also have a weird unwritten rule of if I had this movie poster on my bedroom wall, it's up for grabs.
Yeah.
And I definitely had this poster. Yeah.
Well, and I feel like the universality of the feeling of
Yes, absolutely.
all of this.
Yeah.
Because I was watching it now kind of through that lens of, if this was a queer couple of any flavor, would that change the impact of any of the message of this movie? And it wouldn't at all. Like, it would work no matter what two
absolutely.
human beings you put in the Joel and Clementine positions.
Yes, definitely. And I mean,
A lot of cute boys in this movie.
there's cute boys in this movie. Early Mark Ruffalo, right? Post
tidy whities.
and the tidy
Yep.
whities. We got post Lord of the Rings Elijah
Oh, Elijah.
playing.
So cute.
I mean, but this guy,
That buzzed hair.
this guy that he's playing, I mean, you just want to
kind of a piece of shit.
punch him in the nose.
Yeah.
This kid is such a slime. Like, he's
Also,
the worst.
I mean, had Elijah Wood ever really played unlikable before this movie?
I mean, when was Dark City? Sin City?
Sin City was
'Cause he
2005.
He was like a gross little monster villain,
Yeah.
killer guy in that.
And even in this, like, he's gross, but he's also kind of hapless. Like, he's bad
Right.
at being gross.
Yeah.
Sure.
And
Yeah.
I do feel like this character and then the main doctor are the two characters where it's like, they probably have to stay men just because, but what they do in the film to people they are
Yes.
attracted to is
Yeah.
like, feels uniquely male.
Yes. Yeah.
And especially the Tom Wilkinson character. What's his name? Dr.
Mierzwiak.
Dr. Mierzwiak. I think that this character in maybe a lesser script would be more of a traditional villain, but I think that he just seems like a person.
I think because we don't discover his villainy until we are so deep in, and it's just
Well,
like we have
because-
so many other things to deal with.
Well, it comes in waves too. When he's there with Kirsten, with Mary Svevo, and you kind of start to see, oh, okay, I see what's going on here. And then you kind of get the reveal of like they had a relationship and that she had her memory erased, and he's like, "You wanted this, you asked for it." And I mean, he doesn't say it like that. He's not saying it like, but he's saying like, this is kind of the decision you made, right? And then when you go back and you hear the tape, it's like, no, she did not want this. She is,
Yeah. So do you remember the posters besides the one of them laying on the ice? I remember seeing these character posters in late 2003, right before the movie came out, and it was both Jim, Kate, and Kirsten, and they had Pete's bringing them up. I'm Fine Without You. It is Joel's. Mary's is Do I Know You? And Clementine's is Would You Erase Me? But so it's kind of foreshadowing with the character of Mary. that I remember sort of picking up on when I saw the movie. I was like, oh yeah, there was that character poster.
I had never seen these posters. Like, I don't recall.
I remember seeing the Jim Carrey one, but I feel like that's the only one I ever remember seeing.
Yeah.
Yeah, listeners, look them up.
They're on the IMDb images. This was also, I mean, kind of speaking back to our subject matter discussion. This is one of those movies that you're watching and you're going, is Jim Carrey cute? Jim Carrey's cute. He's hot. Jim Carrey.
We've discussed Jim on the podcast.
Yeah.
Earth Girls Were Easy,
Back
early
in the
Jim.
Girls Were Easy days. Yeah.
80s Jim.
When he's not contorting his face and screaming at me, there are definitely moments where I'm like, oh, he's an attractive man. I get it.
Yeah,
I get it.
yeah, for sure. And he's got like the cute shag haircut in this movie. It's interesting kind of when you put them together, like Clementine as a character, right? She's this girl, she's this like she's got the crazy hair color, the manic panic, all that stuff. She dresses very eclectic.
She's the manic pixie dream girl.
I mean, she really is.
Before that was really a thing.
Really
I mean,
is.
I remember in college,
I feel like she's like one of the birth of the manic
Well,
pixie
I remember
dream
kind of
girl.
in college film classes, I think that what film instructors really like about the script is that kind of deconstructs all of that, especially with something like the male gaze. That Clementine as a character is almost like it's written as a critique of all of that.
Yeah, and I do appreciate that there are those elements of like, let's just get in the car and drive to Boston and I'm going to take this boring guy and add some color into his life. But it's not the bright color. It's not the wacky, zany color. Like everything is still muted and everything is not perfect. And there's not a lot of male gaze to how she is directed, how she's dressed, how she's presented. It's very real feeling.
Well, I mean, I get a lot of with Clementine of like, yes, she's spontaneous and there's spur of the moment and let's go out and drive to this frozen river in the middle of the night and what a fun adventure. But at the same time, it comes from a place that seems very, maybe there's some
Trauma.
There's something going on there.
Maybe there's some bipolarness happening. You know, it seems a little bipolar. I'm not diagnosing anybody, but
well,
I'm just
I feel
saying.
like the thing she harps on with Joel and the thing that like kind of breaks them apart is monotony and boredom.
Right.
And I feel like her biggest fear is boredom.
Right.
And I think Scott and I can both speak to this experience of she works in a bookstore and there is a lot of monotony and a lot of boredom to that job. And I get that feeling of just like, I would like to run away.
When you clock out, you want to do something so polar opposite than sit behind the information desk.
Yeah. And I don't want to touch a piece of paper for...
Listeners, both Amber and I met at Barnes & Noble. And that scene where Clementine is scanning the books and she's holding an old PDT, that brought us both back.
Yeah, you could feel our shoulders tense.
Yep.
In the room
Logging onto the PDT, just
Yeah.
how much you could drop those and they would never break. Like you really had to throw those across the room to get one to crack, I feel.
And we did also discuss that there is no way that Clementine could have worn that little cute lacy tank top to work. And
not in 2004.
That was a little outside of
business
the dress
casual,
code.
guys. Business casual, because
not exposed shoulders at Barnes & Noble.
But is also Clementine the type of woman that would have the manager wrapped around her finger? That she could kind of get away with all of that? Maybe.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But I definitely get a little bit of bipolar energy from her, somebody whose moods kind of shift on a dime, and it's like, okay, now we're having a good time, and say one wrong thing, and then it kind of changes the mood of what's happening, and you're like, okay. But Joel, on the other hand, is very kind of, I don't know, just I guess the opposite of that. He's just a little bit more. He seems like somebody who's like, okay, we can just kind of sit in the apartment and
and also
watch
like
TV
he
or
has
whatever.
no huge emotional life.
Right.
Yeah.
Like there's very few points in the film where he's expressing like a deeper emotion or showing a shift in emotion. It's kind of just one level until you get to like some big
He has
fight
to get
moments.
really deep into the memory erasing to get to any of that.
Right.
Yeah.
Like we don't see a big fight until, again, we're way deep into the film. And then it almost, becomes like you feel it in your body when he kind of lashes out when they're doing their like breakup, and he gets to that moment of like, I definitely assume you fucked someone because that's how you get people to like you. Like that almost was like a physical blow, just because this character has been so kind of middle of the road the whole movie.
Right. And this is right after he calls her a wino.
Oh, wino. I love that delivery of Kate. Yeah.
What are you for the 50s?
Yeah, Kate's so good in that scene, especially for an actress that I think that maybe at this time that people really couldn't say that she was versatile enough to play a role like Clementine, that I think that Kate is so much fun to play unlikable in this movie, too.
There's definitely a maturity to this performance that belies how young she actually was.
Yeah, she was only like in her late 20s when she did this movie.
Yeah, and, you know, if you've watched like her early stuff, you know she has like range, but this was a different level of just like, again, turning on a dime, but making it grounded.
Yeah, I mean, we can talk about the awards recognition.
I mean, its award arc was very interesting. That I think that people really didn't think that a role like Clementine could elbow its way into Best Actress. But
I didn't.
Best Actress in 2004, there was room. That I think that was maybe a not competitive year, hence why Hilary Swank has 2 lead Oscars, that she ended up taking it. But I think that she kind of elbowed her way into that discussion. However, I would have liked to have seen that happen for both Jim and Kirsten.
Yeah, I agree. And I feel like the Best Actress category tends to be the one where they're like, we're going to throw in one curveball.
We're going to put in one kooky performance.
Right. And you have a better shot if you're in something vaguely comedic, if you're an actress, than if you're an actor.
Yeah, right.
And I feel like supporting just gets ignored across the board unless you're doing something like historic.
Right. I mean, is this an era in Kate Winslet? What has she been doing around this time? Is this something where she's still just playing like historical, like
this is the same year
Sense and Sensibility
that Finding Neverland comes out.
Okay.
That I remember there was a lot of discussion. Could she get double nominations? Like, could she show up in supporting for that movie, which probably came close.
Right.
I think that she was in some pretty high-profile studio bombs like The Life of David Gale that didn't really work out. So I think this movie really came at the right place in her career to kind of...
Is she still Corset Kate at this point?
I mean, I guess.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I feel like this was a major shift for both her and Jim Carrey.
Yeah,
so, like, that was probably also a hurdle to nominations. It's just like we're not looking at these people expecting them to give award-winning performances.
Yeah, right. I mean, also kind of looking at her IMDb, I mean, her work at this time was very limited, probably because she had just had her daughter Mia.
Sure.
That she wasn't doing really that many movies.
Can I also just say, upon rewatching this, like, how the fuck did they convince us in the late 90s and early 2000s that this woman was chubby?
Yeah.
How was that the discourse around?
She looks totally
this?
normal. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like, there is one side profile of her where I'm like, this, no,
stunning face.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
Like that face card is immaculate, but also,
but the body was teensy tiny.
I'm like, she has boobs, and a defined ass, and that's literally it.
Yeah, I mean, listen, we just finished talking about Reality Check :
Oh, have you watched it yet?
America's Next Top Model.
I've seen so many clips, but like the
scenes.
trauma of watching them yell at like 90-pound waifs about them gaining 5 pounds.
Yeah.
It was a dark time.
Yes. When they are spending episodes gaslighting poor Kenya that she has just gained so much weight on this journey and editing her eating the same bagel to make it look
multiple
like
times in the car.
3 separate bagels in the same episode.
You know, like, some LA psychiatrist has bought several vacation homes just on those girls.
In-ground pools, infinity pools. Yeah. So, I mean, this is peak Top Model era 04.
Oh, yeah.
This is, and like they all were very quick to tell us, it was the time. The times are different. You know, it's funny. Even when you're watching the documentary itself, there's a tangent here, but the documentary itself goes out of its way so many times to say, well, fashion just focused on very thin women in the early 2000s, as opposed to now with like.
Right. When was the last time fashion focused on women with curves? I'm going to go the Renaissance.
Yeah. As opposed to the Zoftig models that we have stomping the runways these days. I was like, what are they talking about? When did it change? Anyway, yeah, Kate, I feel like always did have this kind of thing kind of chasing her about her looks and her body.
And it probably,
even on Titanic.
And it probably really affected the type of work that she did post-Titanic. Because when you kind of look at her, all of the Rose after Rose, it's like she didn't really do a lot of high-profile, like, box office movies. Like, they were all just kind of these little character dramas.
Yeah.
Which is wild because she does not miss.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I've never watched a performance of hers and thought, that could be better. Or, or how dare she not be a size -2?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
She was coming off of The Life of David Gale, which is that's a doozy of a movie.
Yeah.
That probably affected the type of roles that she would go on to pick.
But like you're saying, though, she had just, was it her first child? She's become a mother.
She just had Mia.
So I think, Mia. So I think, you kind of take some time.
She's in that Wes Anderson movie.
Focus on, which I did not see, to focus on, having your family and all that, which is totally fair. And, but this cast is a very, like we were saying, very small cast, but stacked with people. Tom Wilkinson was having a moment.
Yeah, you saw him a lot in the early 2000s.
This era, right? We keep referring to him as Dr. Mierzwiak, and it's so interesting that this cast is so full of these Eastern European
so interesting
names.
I feel like Mike Schur took a page from this movie when he's naming all the characters on like Parks and Rec and things where it's like, what is the most obscure nationality I can steal last names from?
I mean, it must come from Charlie Kaufman's family background.
Yeah.
All of this ends up in a script.
We have a Krasinski, Mierzwiak, Zvivo, and I think that's those are three big ones right there. But yeah, Tom Wilkinson is, like I said, he's having a moment in the early 2000s, and we were talking about his character, and there are definitely levels to him. I as a younger person watching this movie, I never really felt like, I think on this viewing, definitely more than any of the others, I was like, you son of a bitch. Like, this is a child. This little girl is, Kirsten is 22.
Well, and because that was one of the things when she first showed up on screen. I'm like, I forgot how much of a baby she looked like, because I feel like for so much of her career, because she did start so young, it's just like baby, and then all of a sudden one day it's like, oh, she is a woman,
right? But
she had not hit that point here.
And I even had to do the math. I was like, is she even over 20 in this movie? Yeah, she was 22. When the movie was released in March. I mean, that's just gosh, how old is Ruffalo? He's got to have 15 years on her. Yeah. Because I feel like they even look a little like, ooh.
Oh, Ruffalo's older than I think he is.
Yeah?
He's born in the 60s. He's 67.
Okay, so he's 10 years older than me.
Yeah.
And she's like 5 years younger than me. Yeah, so they've got about 15 years age difference.
So Ruffalo would have been around 30 then, right?
If she's 22, he's...
Yeah, and it like that, and I knew it was coming, but watching them kiss, and when she leans in and is like being the instigator of the kiss with Tom Wilkinson later, I'm
we'll talk about
this is I don't want to watch this.
Yeah.
This movie's for casting, the characters of Rob and Carey, David Cross and Jane Addams. I really like this pairing because I think that we all know a married couple like this. It
feels instantly lived in because they don't get, like, their dialogue is not indicative of really anything, but in what they do have, it's immediate. It's
Yeah.
like, you know this couple,
Yeah.
you know who they are, you know why Joel wandered off at the party in Montauk in the beginning. Yeah.
I like that Joel is also friends with both of them. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I think he may even
College
be
friends.
stronger friends with Carrie.
Yeah.
You know, like it seems like they the two of them really connect. And
College friends. He knew Carrie first, and then she started dating Rob.
There you go.
Yep.
Yeah. Because he's cool. Like him and Rob are cool. They talk and all that stuff. But I feel like she's the one that asks him. I mean, she is the.
And I do feel like you
woman.
know Rob immediately, where he's like, I am tired of listening to whatever this
Yeah.
whining is, so I'm just going to show you this postcard so you will stop talking.
Making a birdhouse.
Yeah, literally. I'm just gonna show him. He's grown. He needs to know.
That making a birdhouse in that apartment, I also would have like run a hammer through.
He has a whole workshop set up in the kitchen.
Yeah.
That is the other thing I noticed about this movie this time too, is how tight all the spaces
How well
felt.
set decorated all of the apartments are.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
never see stuff like that in movies.
And especially
at all.
since they're dealing with such a muted color tone,
Yeah.
like they're using a lot of color, but it is all very neutral,
Right.
muted.
Yeah.
And again, every space feels like it's closing in on you at all times.
There's really interesting work done with the lighting, this like diffuse kind of like lighting, and I think it's something where they may even like on set like pump in like some smoke or some vapor in the room to get the light to do that, you know, when they're looking out of windows and things. We talk about this a lot on the show. Neither of us are East Coast people.
You've spent your fair share of time in New York. I asked you as we were watching it if you'd ever been to Montauk.
And I did not, because most of my time spent in New York. I was a college student, so I was there in like the winter months.
Yeah.
So going to the beach in the winter
Yeah.
was just never at the top of my list of things
Although,
to do.
that said, maybe it kind of speaks to my personality. I do love visiting the ocean in the wintertime.
I appreciate it more now.
Yeah.
And unfortunately or fortunately, we live on the coast where the water is always
cold.
frigid.
Yeah.
Like, you're not going in, regardless. So
Yeah, it's pretty to look at.
you might as well go on a nice, cool, windy day.
Yeah. But I never really understood the geography of where they live, right? Rockville Center means nothing to me right now. I know it's on Long Island. And Montauk is also on Long
You have
Island.
to take
But
the
Montauk is a
train.
very
You have to take the train all the way down.
tippy-tip-
all the way.
tippy tip of Montauk, and it seems like Rockville Center is fairly almost close to like Brooklyn-ish. I don't know, sorry, but you know, not that far in. So Joel skipping his work train and jumping on another one to go to Montauk. It's not like, well, I'll just go there and hang out for a bit. That's like a 2-hour train ride.
Yeah,
for
you're-
him
you're
to go,
committed.
on
Like,
a whim. On
You're
a
not
work
getting
day.
out, looking around, and being like, "Well, I guess I'll head back."
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, yeah. You're going to spend some hours there. So these are things that maybe add a little context as if you were like, this is like if we're just like, I'm not going to go to work today. Something is telling me to go to Palm Springs.
Sure.
Right now.
Yeah.
I need to go to Palm Springs, and we're there. Public transportation in Los Angeles that worked.
If you could possibly take a train all the way to Palm Springs.
Yeah, that opening scene did really make me miss like well-funcking public transit.
yeah. Like in my time in
Hey, you can get on.
I went a little loud.
You can get on
me.
the. What is it? The A line now? What's the Gold Line called now?
It's blue, I think.
The Blue Line. You can go all the way to Long Beach.
You sure can.
It's going to take you a long time, and you'll
you a
meet
minute, yeah.
some characters on the way.
I mean, I took an Amtrak train to New Mexico year before last, and it took me 22 hours. So I
that's
now
right.
never want to get on a train. 22 hours each way.
That's wild. That
Yeah.
is even an option.
Yeah. So it'll be a hot minute before
Why
I'm
is
back
that
on
a
a train.
ticket? But yeah, because it's the context, and it's these like things that when you first watch the movie, you're just like, okay, he's taking this train, he meets this girl on the train. There's something, and I don't know if it's in a commentary or where I read about this, was kind of going back to John Bryan and the score. That's amazing.
Beautiful score.
Beautiful score.
Should have been Oscar nominated.
The first scene in the movie where they meet, they kind of are playing peekaboo on Montauk. They're sitting in the diner. But when they speak to each other for the first time, it's on the train going back home to Rockville Center. And it's this, he does this thing in the score where when they're not talking, it's silent, and then as soon as someone starts talking,
he does the opposite
score
of what you would
comes
expect
in.
of a film score.
Yeah, and it's that little loopy John Bryan, like, I can't even explain it, but it's a very interesting little thing. He doesn't do it throughout the entire movie, but it's just this little interesting thing that he does in this moment, and I always think about it when I watch that scene where she first gets upset at him calling her nice.
Kate Winslet actually punches him. He didn't know it was
In the
coming.
shoulder, yeah.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Not in the script.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good sock in the shoulder. You could tell.
I wonder if that's like her playing repressed or gone memories, where it's like, I really want to punch this guy, and I don't know why.
Sure.
Why?
And I think
do
that
it.
just kind of something about the magical tone of this movie, that these two characters do have a magnetic quality about each other, that the universe is forcing them apart, but these two just really want to find each other.
Right.
And I know that it is a cut part of the script that they chose not to put in the movie, that Clem and Joel keep meeting up with each other and erasing each other. So they keep finding each other.
Yeah.
Regardless of how many times they've erased each other.
It did make me think, because there is like so much in modern relationship discussions about like new relationship energy,
Right.
and how like that's something people really love and want to attain, of just that spark in the first few meetings, and like everything is so interesting and new and fresh and exciting, and this feels like the most convoluted way to do it and remain monogamous. It's like, hey, if we just keep erasing each other, we constantly are living in the first 6 months of a
The
relationship.
honeymoon phase. Yeah.
Which on one hand is it's like a drug. You're constantly getting that high, but on the other hand, it's like you can never settle in. You can never relax into a relationship, and that feels aggressively stressful.
I've always kind of thought the last shot of the movie was almost foreshadowing that it keeps rewinding.
Yeah.
Oh, sure.
That scene on the beach.
Yeah.
I always kind of thought that's
They're
a way,
walking away from the
that's a way
camera.
of the edit of kind of, we couldn't put this in the movie, but here's like
I also
a little foreshadow of it.
Right.
Yeah.
Correct. I do also like the idea that Mary kind of gets her little comeuppance. Mm-hmm. And maybe it eventually does shut down Lacuna, like, altogether, because of what she does, sending everybody their tapes and their files and everything. So,
and I feel like it's also a great visual representation of how far people will go to avoid therapy.
Yeah.
It's like, because again, if Joel and Clementine are just stuck in this perpetual loop because they never have to face their problems and therefore never have to deal with their problems. And it's like, hey, you could save yourself the brain injury and just like go to therapy.
Yeah. Because I mean,
shake hands and break.
Yeah. Because doing this procedure enough times is probably like, it's like huffing paint, VCR cleaner. One too many times. Yeah, but I think ultimately it's I like the idea of that, but I do like the idea of it for as a film, as a narrative story, for it to have this ending of like, okay, maybe this.
Well, it's the fairy tale ending of
maybe,
like we can imagine that
maybe
it's
this
gonna
time
be
will be different.
Happy.
Yeah.
And we don't really need to dig into that. And
Yeah, absolutely.
Did you read, do you remember at that time where you could buy film scripts at bookstores? Do you remember this one?
Oh, yeah. There was a huge section.
Yeah, I always remember kind of thumbing through the script at the library, and a little subtle change that I thought was interesting that they probably rewrote maybe the week of filming or maybe on the day was Clementine's monologue about the baby doll. Do you remember what it originally is in the shooting script?
No, because I read it one day during my lunch break at
Joel
work.
About the Velveteen Rabbit. And that's the original toy that she's talking about. And they switch it to a baby girl and the whole, you can't be ugly. Mm-hmm. I actually think it's better in the movie. Yeah. I really like that monologue, but it's a little different in the shooting script.
Well, and I feel like the Velveteen Rabbit is a little bit like, let me hit you over the head with this idea of like what's real, what's not, memory and and like romantic importance.
It's kind of a good lesson of filmmaking for film students of when you're reading a script for a movie that you're so familiar with and you kind of see what they decided to change maybe on the day in the shooting script, that maybe the actors just didn't think this was reading all that authentically, that they kind of switched up some of the lines. It's kind of interesting about reading scripts of movies that you're really familiar with.
Right.
And it's interesting too, because I feel like if, there are certain writer-directors where I've followed them throughout their entire career, and they start very young, and when they start very young, you will get every period, and if
right.
exactly as I wrote it, and if you deviate, we're going back. And for them 20 years later to look back on their films and be like, yeah, it's better if I just let them say stuff.
You can trust the actor a little more.
Yeah. Where it's like, maybe what I wrote isn't the greatest line to ever hit paper. And if I'm truly collaborating with other creative, smart people, they will come up with something good. And I just have to get out of my own ass and let them do it.
I remember reading a profile on Kate Winslet, and the writer of Quills was talking about that, of just kind of Kate going up to him and just being like, all right, I know that like you wrote this line, but I think that I can do this line with a look. And maybe we don't even need it. And I remember him just kind of saying that was a really important lesson of screenwriting when working with actors, is just kind of trusting actors and their instincts of how they approach a character. Yeah.
And you can tell when a movie or a TV show is made by people who listen to their actors, because you get a more lived-in sense of a character, and that you can chart a trajectory a little bit more, because the actor is invested in that emotional journey, and they've created a backstory that maybe you don't even know about, and allowing them to like put more of that in just adds colors and levels and flavors to the performance.
We're just coming off our Pearl episode too. So this would have been a really interesting movie to have just kind of been a fly on the wall of how both Kate and Jim interacted with each other, because Kate is kind of playing the introvert Jim Carrey role, and Jim as Joel's a little more kind of reserved. That it would have been really interesting to kind of observe how they interacted with each other, if that affected how maybe Jim behaved on set.
Like, is she playing the more flashy kind of
She's playing the more
character?
flashy role.
Sure.
That I think that sometimes Jim can be a little process, and his bullshit will probably get in the way of filming. That it would have been interesting to kind of observe him in this movie and how he just interacted with the other actors in the crew.
Yeah, and I feel like too, I feel like it's helpful when you get those giant personalities to really put them on a smaller set and a smaller group of people, because there's not that many people to perform to.
Right.
Like, and if everyone else is very, very grounded, luckily Jim Carrey took this as an opportunity to like up his game in that area and give a grounded, realistic performance. Like, the only scene where he ever gets a little like physically goofy is when he's trying to wake himself up and holding his eyes open.
When they're out hiking.
Yeah.
But, like that's an interesting level at that point, and not just I'm exhausted because he's been doing this the entire movie.
I think I read that both Jim and Kate went on dates with each other as the characters. Just as some rehearsal.
That's smart, honestly, because they are never playing the reality of the situation. They are never playing the reality of their original relationship. Every bit of their original relationship is memory. So, like, you would have to create some idea of what's the conversation a page before this, when we're sitting at this Chinese restaurant and we're angry at each other and we're mad at the vegetables and we're, bored with each other. What were we talking about before we got to this point?
It's interesting. I'm seeing some notes about this movie that a few of the actors had some troubles working with the director, Michel Gondry.
Could probably not speak a lot of English.
I was going to say, how much of that came from him being French and maybe not being as proficient in the language? How much of it came from this movie, while all the effects are very analog and kind of, air quote, in camera, there's a lot of CGI in this movie. There's a lot of CGI in this movie, but a lot of the effects are kind of old-fashioned special effects, and a lot of that stuff takes time and precision and all of that, and those things can get on someone's nerves. Cut to Ian McKellen. So I think that those can raise tensions, but I mean, Tom Wilkinson didn't really have, I guess he did have some special effects scenes, but
I know that I was reading that Ellen Kuras, this movie is shot by a lady, too, Lady DP.
Yeah.
I was reading that she kind of would get into it a little bit with Michelle.
Yeah.
About some of these complicated scenes.
yeah.
I can only imagine how difficult it was to light this movie.
Oh my gosh.
Because everything is, again, to add to that feeling of like cramped and closing in,
Right.
everything is shot so tight.
Right.
There is not a moment where the camera really gets to breathe.
Yeah.
Even when you're out on like the ocean, you're not getting the expanse of the ocean. So I can
Yeah.
imagine that like trying to put lights where the camera isn't going to get it in a very confined space, and
There's a lot of intentional like spotlight
Yeah.
work in a lot of those really tight dream sequences, things like that.
and I can also imagine for a very visually driven director,
Yeah.
he has such a specific
Right.
idea of what that lighting needs to be.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of these dream spaces where they'll be in Joel's apartment, which for an apartment where he is sleeping in a sofa bed, this has got to be like 1,000 square feet. This is a huge apartment. Why does he sleep in a sofa bed? Who knows? Can't be great for his back. But it seems to be that there's a loop, right? You can go in the kitchen two ways, but there in these like dream sequences, in these memories, there's a lot of like false, like she'll go
there's
in
that
one
scene
way and
where
come out.
Kate's
Yeah.
getting ready to leave when
Right.
she's going to storm
Right.
out, and she walks in the bathroom,
Right.
and she kind of disappears, and,
and then
she
goes and walks out the front door.
She walks out the front
Yeah,
door,
but never
Yeah.
comes out of the bathroom, right? And all of these things do require very specific lighting so that you as the audience aren't like, well, that door leads to nowhere or that hallway doesn't exist or whatever. They have to like fake all that stuff out and like all that. All that stuff is super precise. And so that I guess that for an actor can just be like a lot of setup, a lot of waiting, a lot of like whatever. And, it's
And
just,
also blessings on the editor.
yeah, yes. How?
I can't even imagine the days it would take to edit some of those scenes.
Yeah.
It's like, well, we're going to be here for a week to edit this 30 seconds of constantly changing.
This is an Icelandic editor.
Oh.
I can't even pronounce this guy's name. Valdis
Who knows?
Oscar Dodif.
Oscar daughter. That's a hold
Yeah,
on.
I don't
That's
know.
a hold on. Let me see. Editor. When it says that Oscar daughter, that means it's a woman, and her father's first name is Oscar. That's what that means.
All right.
Yeah,
Yeah, when I saw it pop up on the screen, I was like, okay.
Valdis
that's-
Oscar daughter. Because when you watch Michel Gondry music videos, you're like, how the fuck do they edit this? And those are 3 minutes long. This is a feature.
And again, I love that like everybody is playing at the top of their game.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
nobody's letting the production down. And again, when you look at the set design and you look at the costume design and how everything is put together, and like everything also feels very tactile.
Yes.
Like you can feel what's happening. Like the
Right.
scene where Jim Carrey is putting on pajamas fresh out of the package.
Yeah.
I was like, that is I can think of very few sensations I would
Yeah.
like less than that.
Scott, you'll probably know the answer to this little tidbit of trivia.
Oh, what is it?
Joel Barish refers a couple of times to a woman that he was living with.
Oh, sure.
Naomi.
Yeah, it's
you know who
Ellen
was
Pompeo
cast,
from
yes.
Grey's Anatomy.
Ellen
Did you know
Pompeo.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
Ellen Pompeo was cast as Naomi, and
The scene is on the DVD.
there's a scene with her.
So he talks about his girlfriend Naomi at the beginning and how
Yeah.
he should get back to her. I don't know exactly where it's supposed to be
Yeah,
in the
where it would
edit,
go.
but there's a scene between them.
Yeah.
I like that we never see her.
Yeah.
Because it,
Yeah.
especially in
They-
the beginning when he's saying like,
Yeah.
I need to go back to Naomi, and then you see this other, and you have no concept of who Naomi is.
Right.
You have no concept of who Clementine is. So he sees this random woman on a beach, and it's like, is that Naomi?
Right? Yeah.
Sure. And
Who dat?
yeah, I mean, they probably just figured out in the edit that they just didn't really need her. I mean, it sucks for Ellen that she got cut out of the movie. It would have been interesting to see where she would have fit in the edit.
Oh, Ellen's doing fine.
She's doing just fine. She has been getting a steady raise for well over 20 years now.
Yeah, she never needs to work again, and
No.
blessings.
Her children and her children's children will be.
There's also a deleted scene that I really like of I think that it's probably Joel and Clem's first date after the beach.
Uh-huh.
I mean, after he probably goes and sees her at the bookstore, because I think that's directly after the beach. If you're going to be following
the chronological
timeline, but there's a cut scene where Clem sneaks her and Joel into a play.
Oh,
you see these stills a lot in like publicity stills. They're sitting in a theater.
Okay,
I really like that scene on the DVD. I think they should have kept it in.
Sure. I love the scene where they're watching the elephants from the circus come into town, which was a real thing.
Oh, I remember. Yeah, I remember going to see it a lot when I was a kid.
Yeah, and it would just be at night, right? So like less traffic,
and
they would just walk them into town.
Yeah, it was like the downtown area right near the Coliseum where they would perform, and they would just walk the elephants.
They probably just brought them in by train because it's a circus.
Yeah,
maybe to
as you do
Penn Station or something, and then they just had them walk the rest of the way to wherever.
And you think it was one of those production that like their location manager just got word.
Yeah,
this is happening.
Let's go do this.
Right?
We should go. We should go pick out some shots. Yeah.
But that to me is very much giving like. I mean, it's a very different vibe, but it's giving that like. Ben Affleck and what's her name with the like the flower outside of the bakery, the early hours, these little things that you can really do. You know,
from Gone Girl.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I always found that so fast. I was like, why are there elephants? And I was like, oh, it's a circus situation. And I was like, oh, this is a thing like in New York.
Yeah, I remember one time I was trying to get to the train station on Thanksgiving to go to New Jersey to see one of my friends, and I randomly turned a corner and they were just like deflating the balloons that had just come off the parade route. And I mean, that is one of the things I love about living in a big city, and you can do it in LA too, where you just turn a corner and all of a sudden you're like, oh, I am in a film set. Oh, there is all right, there's an elephant there.
Walk across this line and you can be filmed.
Yeah.
And I mean, the film set thing kind of loses its romance after a while when you're just looking for a place to fucking park. But sometimes it's still charming.
Oh, I love going on my walk and I'll just see a television shoot.
Yeah.
In the neighborhood. I love that.
Yeah.
Well, and especially like near where I live is where they do a lot of the like shrinking, and they did some Gilmore Girls stuff over there. So sometimes it is just like, oh, okay, hi, I'm in.
I like when there's a sign on the trucks and stuff of the television show that they're doing. Not all of them have that though.
Or they'll have a fake name.
I do love catching the fake names.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Like, what could this be?
It would have been interesting to have seen this movie set on the West Coast. I don't know if it would have worked as well.
I don't think it would. I think
just maybe
you
the
need
geography
that tightness.
and that tightness that I think that kind of making your way to a beach in New York City is considerably different than
and I just think also,
going to the beach here.
But also the idea of a beach with snow and a frozen river and all
and
these,
meeting on the train.
These very romantic and wintry.
And there is also something really interesting about being on specifically Long Island instead of Manhattan.
Right. Yeah.
It's like you're so close to something so grand, but we decided to set it in like the smaller, off the beaten path.
Right.
Often referred to as the Forgotten Borough. Like that's where we put these characters.
Yeah. Because there's still like it's so. That's another thing though about East Coast and all that LA at least doesn't have. It's like there's moments in this where they're just in the woods.
Yeah. I mean, we can go to the woods here.
Yeah.
We live right next to a mountain.
Gotta drive there though.
To drive up the mountain,
pay to park, depending on the day. Yeah, it's a whole thing.
I do also love the scenes where they are going back into Joel's childhood, just because that adds such an interesting dimension to who they are as people and who he is. And one of my favorite moments that I really picked up on this time is when they go back and Kate Winslet is wearing that fabulous dress.
Yeah.
And she's like, can I take this back with me? Because I've definitely had dreams where I'm like, oh, damn, that didn't come into reality with me. That sucks.
She's like, I love this kitchen. I like the shade of her hair in that scene and the very cool 60s like side part and all that. She looks really good.
Kate's wigs in this movie are really well done.
They
look like they're grown out of her hair.
There's really only one
They look
shot
like they're grown out of her head.
where she's making an expression. You can kind of see a little bit of
Lace.
crinkly. Yeah. Not really lace, but you know what I mean, where you
Yeah.
can see that it's her skin reacting to being
Maybe
having glue on it.
it's the actual human hair texture, but you usually don't see wigs that are this flat like human hair read so well on film.
Yeah.
And I think somebody also took the time to really layer in what hair looks
It's
like when it's growing out and when you've overprocessed it and when you've dyed it 17 times. Because
the color is fading and
yeah, because none of her color goes all the way to the root.
Right.
And so somebody had to really sit there and dye those wigs.
It works really well when it's blue and it's green.
Yeah.
Her natural color is really in there.
So the hair
great.
color timeline at the beginning of the story,
Right.
that when she first meets Joel on the train, what color is it? Is it?
It's blue.
It's blue.
Yeah.
When
'Cause that's
she-
the end of the story.
When she
Yeah.
leaves Joel, it's the fire engine red.
Tangerine.
Tangerine. Yeah.
When she meets him
It's green.
with the orange sweater, it's green.
Yeah.
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 And you can also watch the progression, the grow out of the orange.
Yes.
Because, you get to see that moment when she first does it. And then by the time they get to the end, it's you get to see that transition.
Yes.
And that grow out.
This is the type of thing that probably, as an actress, is probably really fun.
Yes.
Is to kind of do a little board of your hair color. and just how unusual that probably is.
Yeah.
And with somebody else doing it for you, so you're not manic panicking in your
Yeah.
college dorm room and leaving a pink streak across your your rug in your
Yeah,
bathroom.
yeah.
That
Or-
didn't happen.
Or your hands or
Yeah.
the back of your neck.
I feel like the late 90s in New York City, walking down the street, everybody's hands and hair were a
Yeah.
very vibrant color.
Yes, indeed.
As we all marched into Ricky's to get more manic panic.
Not Ricky.
I only know Ricky's from things that Michelle Visage says on Drag Race. It's my only context of Ricky's.
Saying someone's costume looks like it's straight out of Ricky's. Let's see. We talked a little bit about deleted scenes. Working with Michelle. We're at 110 right now, by the way.
Yeah, perfect.
So we did talk a little bit about some of the actors maybe having some issues working with Michel Gondry, and this movie is so kind of visionary and really well received.
Well, won the Oscar for screenplay.
Yeah, well, which he didn't write. So he's
No,
no credit for. He's got a story credit.
He has a story credit, but he won the Oscar though.
Not Charlie Kaufman.
So this, Charlie Kaufman shared this with Michel Gondry and that guy Pierre
Bismuth. Okay.
Yeah. So the story credits got the Oscar.
Okay.
Which I feel like is rare.
And also, that one guy got an Oscar for just throwing out a random log line.
Yeah,
Just
really.
Wouldn't this be interesting?
Yeah.
Go. Everybody else write it.
Right. But, the next big thing that Michel Gondry directs is, I guess, The Science of Sleep is next.
I saw The Science of Sleep in the theater. I was really excited for that movie.
Yeah, as were a lot of us. I mean, it's Michel Gondry's next, next big thing. It's got Gael.
Our boyfriend.
Yep.
Our E2 Mama Tambien boyfriend.
Charlotte Gainsbourg. And I think it was really good. I enjoyed it. But I don't know. I think that, he was still doing videos at this point. In 2008, he gets Be Kind Rewind, which was fun. But
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it's just kind of, I don't know, is it diminishing returns after this? Unfortunately.
Well, and what was Kaufman's next?
Also, yeah, what is going on there?
Synecdoche, New York.
So that one-
Synecdoche, yeah.
I really love that movie, but I understand that movie is not everyone's cup of tea, though.
I love that movie. I don't know that I could watch it again.
Sure.
Like, you have to be in a very specific
you definitely have to be in a
headspace.
specific mood to sit through that movie.
Yeah, that's true.
I never saw that movie that he did with Jesse Buckley. I'm Thinking of Ending Things. It was a Netflix movie. I never saw it.
I did, but I was really stoned, so I don't think I can provide an accurate
Kaufman.
Yeah.
critique
He wrote
on
it?
it.
Yeah, he wrote and directed it, I think.
Oh, wow. Interesting. Yeah, so I mean, as far as like features,
He didn't quite follow.
yeah. The next big one that I never ended up seeing was Mood Indigo.
Is that with Audrey Tautou?
Audrey Tautou, yeah.
I saw that he directs a lot of random television,
Yeah.
too. I thought that was interesting.
Yes.
I feel like this is what we need to bring back, though. And maybe we've lost some of this art because, like, I feel like we hit a auteur music video director that then went on to make really weird and visually compelling movies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we've kind of lost that because, like, music videos just aren't as...
I mean, you would think that kind of in the TikTok age that there would be the Michel Gondry making TikTok videos, but maybe we just haven't gotten there. You know what's interesting about Eternal Sunshine? And I work with a lot of young people and even like supervisors that are younger than me that we were talking about Valentine's Day movies, and I was mentioning to a couple coworkers, one of them was a mate, about Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, and they both looked at me having no idea what I was talking about. So I think that this movie, while I mean beloved with people that love movies, I do think that there is a generation
that
of
missed
people that missed this movie.
Well, the other thing about this movie that it took us a minute, it didn't have a good Blu-ray release forever. Right.
But I feel like it's always on some streaming platform, though, because it's on Hulu right now. But what I was kind of like, just kind of glass half full, that I was telling them, you know, you're in a very unique position. If you were to watch Eternal Sunshine tonight, I think you would be maybe a little more affected about it because you have no idea what it's about.
Yeah.
So you could go in really blind to the story.
I also now want to go hang out and just eavesdrop on some UCLA and, like, New York Film School students and be like, who are you guys being pretentious about right now?
Right.
Like, who's your guy? Who's your lady?
I mean, they're all about the
who's your person?
They're all about the A24 and Neon movies.
I guess.
But that's also hard because, like, I feel like it's not a continual visual or writing through line.
Yeah.
Right.
It's not someone you can, like, latch onto because I feel like we got lucky and then we came up in the time of, you know,
Auteurs.
Robert Rodriguez and Kevin Smith and Quentin Tarantino.
David Fincher.
Yeah. Like, all of these people had very specific stylistic views. There were, like, you can read a Quentin Tarantino script with his name off and you know it's him. You can read a Kevin Smith script and know it's him.
Yep.
And you could latch on to, like, an auteur or, you know, like, one person where you're like, I'm going to deep dive into this person.
That was always really exciting for me in high school around this time. I mean, I remember watching, Pete does not really like Paul Thomas Anderson, but I first remember watching Magnolia and just being really affected by it and tracking down his earlier movies like Boogie Nights. And it was around the time Punch Drunk Love came out. So there was a new movie coming out and just kind of following that guy's career from the early days.
Yeah, and again, that's kind of what I need to find a youth and ask them, like, who are they doing that with? Because that's what... So at NYU, and I'm sure every college of the time, there was a floor of the library that was just, like, little desks and TVs, and you could like, watch, and they would put the DVD on for you. Like, you were not allowed to touch anything.
Got it, yeah.
And then you would go sit at your little desk, and they would show you movies.
Cute. I love it.
We sort of had the same thing.
And I would
at our colleges in Montana.
I would do that during breaks between classes. If I didn't have a big project or rehearsal or something, I would just go and be like, well, this month I'm going to work through all of Scorsese. This month I'm going to work through all of, you know, whoever I picked.
Yeah.
And I wonder who those people are.
Ty West.
Maybe somebody like Sean Baker, too.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think that something like...
I think a lot of the kids these days are just super into Quentin. I think a lot
Yeah.
of people might
I
just
mean-
say Tarantino.
Paul Thomas
I know-
Anderson too.
It's
Paul
the
Thomas
easy one.
Anderson has been on a tour that has stuck around.
Yeah.
And I know I said this earlier about television, but it also holds true with movies. Like, we have got to move away from like 3 white dudes being
Yeah.
in charge of everything.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're absolutely right.
So what's kind of interesting about the Criterion Channel and how they curate movies every month, because there is either a director or an actor theme, and I think that exposes a lot of young people into different movies. It definitely does for me.
Yeah, and I will say, like, as annoying as working Criterion sales at Barnes & Noble was, I do feel like they are holding the line when it comes to making, like, prestigious films available, and also there's a lot of diversity in their catalog.
Yeah.
And it's still cool to film kids to be like, I got the Criterion collection of this movie.
Yeah, I mean, Arrow's doing something similar too. When you came over tonight, we were watching the Arrow 4K of Excalibur. It just came out this week.
Looks great.
We rented the 4K disc of Eternal Sunshine.
Yes, we sure did.
The transfer was really nice. I could
Yes.
definitely tell that we were not watching it on our old Universal DVD with the Focus Films sizzle reel.
Yep.
Yeah, and it definitely played very nicely, and I think that did kind of highlight the coloring and the lighting and in ways that I really hadn't focused on. I was
Another
also,
thing,
like, in my
when
early
revisiting
20s.
this
Yeah,
movie,
for sure.
and it's been over 20 years, and it kind of bums me out that when I do think about original ideas in movies are so fucking rare. That a movie like Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind does not come around a lot. Like, there's only been, I would say, a handful of movies, maybe 5, that have even achieved the originality that Eternal Sunshine has, and that's just so fucking depressing.
Yeah, it really is, and it goes to show that, like, as much as we all would like to pretend that Hollywood and production is a meritocracy, it's not. It's capitalism through and through.
Like, if the studios had their way, this would be starring Ben Affleck in an action movie.
Yeah, and they would have
At this
turned
time,
it into a thriller.
yeah.
And, you know, it's just, that's what makes it more impressive, too, the fact that it got onto a screen and somebody put some money behind it. And again, like, how much money are we really throwing at it when we have 8 actors?
Right.
I mean, probably a $20 million movie.
Yeah. And I feel like that's the only way things like that got made. And again, we've kind of lost that golden time of, like, 1999 is often revered as, like, the best year for movies. And I feel like we have strayed so far from the light.
Yeah.
And it's A24, like you mentioned, is kind of starting to re-energize that. But again, they're kind of very niche.
Yeah.
A lot of the bulk of the A24 stuff is horror.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I've also surrendered to, when we're watching trailers at an AMC, anything original, you're going to see A24 Neon. Like,
Yeah.
I've just surrendered to it. That, like, that's just how the business works now.
Yeah. And I feel like the streamers were trying for a minute, but then they have all abandoned the cause
I guess that
originality.
Well, I guess that a show like Severance is very Eternal Sunshine in its tone.
Yeah.
You can definitely see a lot of influences in something like
Yeah.
Severance.
And I feel like that is my hope in a lot of ways, is like perhaps we're getting another golden era of TV, because I feel like we had that really high peak of, like, Mad Men, Breaking Bad, like that era.
Yeah.
And we're back in that in television in a lot of ways, but movies still feel like
Just picture it. Eternal Sunshine never came out, and they got to make this movie now. This is an Apple series that is 10 episodes long. That we are. I don't know how you are stretching this out into 8 episodes.
They'll figure it out.
Yeah.
But I guess it's how a project like this gets made now.
Yeah, and I'm grateful that this is already here, because an hour 40 is kind of perfect. Like,
Yeah.
there's nothing superfluous in it. They didn't need to load it up with, like, any useless scenes or scenes that are just there to, like, well, if we have David Cross, we need him to be in 5 more scenes.
Right.
It's like none of that happened.
Yeah.
And you never get bored. Nothing is ever dropped. Nothing is ever living out beyond its usefulness. Like everything has a purpose for existing there.
I didn't mention his directing of The Green Hornet.
Yeah. The movie that Cameron Diaz was nowhere in the marketing for.
Oh yeah, and she's actually in it.
I think we've all collectively forgotten that
I
happened.
feel like that movie is
forgot
probably
about
what really burned a lot of bridges with Michel Gondry directing major Hollywood movies.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is interesting to see also like who gets put in director jail for stuff, and it's like,
Yeah.
okay, I feel like we could have let him out at some point because he did a lot of really good stuff before that.
Yeah,
I mean, I would like to see Michel Gondry do an episode of Black Mirror.
Oh, for sure.
Just like an hour-long anthology episode.
Yeah.
I'd like to see what he would do with something like that.
Yeah, he did a Flight of the Conchords. Just one. But I would like to revisit The Science of Sleep.
We have the DVD.
I have not watched it in a long time, and we do have the DVD. And I did not mind Be Kind Rewind. I thought that there was some fun stuff in there.
Mm-hmm.
It was fun. It's just, and again, I feel like this is probably hard for the creators as well. It's like once you peak this hard, and once you come up with something that's so original and so visually interesting, and like you've created a new style that other people try and mimic.
Yeah.
To this day, it's like, well, what do I do now?
Yeah.
I always forget that this movie inspired that Ariana Grande song, an album. She has an album called Eternal Sunshine.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
Good for her.
No, I'm just not making that up. She
No,
does.
I know. Good for her.
Mm-hmm.
I have Ariana Grande PTSD from an event at Barnes and
Oh,
Noble.
yeah. You told us about that. Mm-hmm.
Oh, my gosh.
It all comes full circle.
I just read about her doing something for like concert tickets and like stopping the insanity. That she
Stop the insanity.
Saw something online of like tickets going for like $5,000, and she was like, "No, this is done. No more of that." And kind of like did a very specific thing for her concert where there was like multiple like checkpoints of IDs and things to kind of
bots just
stop.
can't log in and get them.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I don't know to what level of success that was, but I thought that was good for her that she was just like, nope, we want people to actually come and see the show and be able to afford it and eat food that month. Have electricity as well as come to see me.
And to be a cynic, like she doesn't get a penny of that resale.
I mean, yeah.
So
Yeah. But I'll look into that album of hers. But yeah, we love this movie.
Well, I think that we like to just talk about movies that we love on this show.
Yeah.
Regardless of queer subject matter, even though I would love to see a gay relationship walk into Lacuna.
yes, yeah,
Would there be just as much drama?
Absolutely.
more
More drama.
because then you have to tell that couple's very tight circle of people.
Yeah.
Like, let's put it with two women who have all dated interconnectedly.
I was going to say,
Yeah. there's a
with
lot
gay
of that.
men,
Yeah.
you would have to do full thruples. Like, you would have to erase entire friend groups.
Yeah, the whole friend
have all
group would
fucked each
have to
other.
go in
Yeah.
at the same time and be like, okay, so we all
Or very
decided.
specifically, like you still know each other, but the relationship didn't happen. So
Yeah,
there's a
and that's
script.
that's the science that I kept thinking about of
Yeah.
like, does it just skip all of it, or like do you get random patches of memories of like,
Yeah.
so I went to that restaurant, was I alone? And yeah, so can you imagine like in a random group of gay male friends where it's like, I was at the club alone?
Yeah. Did
What?
I even go?
Why was I
Yeah.
there?
Yeah. You just get weeks of your life that are just gone.
Yeah.
But
And like you said, I feel like it has to have a time limit on it of like, okay, you guys have been together for 7 years.
Yeah.
You burn down the apartment.
yeah, this is gonna work.
We're not getting out.
Yeah, yeah. Oh man. Well, have we done it? Have we reached
I think so.
the limit? Yeah. This was a lot of fun. Like we said, we love this movie. Go get the 4K. It looks great.
Yeah, I rented it this afternoon.
Listeners, if you got a 4K player.
I was able to track down a physical DVD of the Leo DiCaprio
Total
movie,
Eclipse.
Total Eclipse. So we will be covering that in the future.
Yes. We'll be watching
This
it.
is
We'll
why
be
physical
taking
media is
notes.
important, because that movie is nowhere to be found on rental.
No. find yourself a video store, friends, if you can. We're lucky enough here in our town. Got a couple. But Amber, thank you so much.
Thank you
for
so
coming on
much.
the show.
Thank you for having me. I loved it.
Yes, indeed. You earmarked this movie, and we said, great, love it. Put it on the books.
I'm glad
Making
that we
it
finally
happen.
did it.
Yes.
It's always been on the list of episodes that I've been wanting to do.
Oh, absolutely. Same thing. Same for me. Same for me. But as always, you're welcome to come back on for anything you'd like to talk about.
Don't tempt me with a good time.
Listeners, do not go anywhere. We will be right back with more show. Welcome back, listeners.
Welcome back.
Thank you for sticking around to the very, very end.
Thanks, Amber.
Thank you so much,
She's always fun.
Amber. Yeah, you're always a great time, and this movie was a whole lot of fun. We love Eternal Sunshine.
We watch this movie a lot. I love this movie.
Yeah, we do. We watch it fairly consistently. But I think right now it is time for us to take a step back.
For the weekly rewind?
Yes, indeed. We're going to talk about what we've been watching this week.
Let's do it.
Alrighty.
What have we been watching? We've been watching a lot
boy.
of Peacock. We've been watching a lot of reality shows on
We are
Peacock.
Reality Queens.
Reality Queens.
We
We're
love
getting
it.
caught up on The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. So, we're getting...
I'm so mad at Amanda, the money queen, and her like bag of bullshit. I am on Bose's side. What are you getting out of giving this woman your money?
But you know what
Nothing.
really brings the women together on a show like this?
Is hating another bitch.
Is everybody hating another bitch.
Yeah.
That really brings everybody together.
Oh, yeah, and I'm here for it because I hate Amanda, too. She's a damn liar and a schemer, and all of her money was built on the backs of unsuspecting women who probably have gotten no return on it.
Yeah.
So she's a shyster, and she should go back to the cult that she came from. And those are my thoughts on Amanda, the money queen.
Oh, my God. And also this Dorit versus Kyle.
Oh, Dorit.
It's like, how much more can we fight
Everybody's
about all of this?
so on board with the new Dorit, and she's just so in charge of her. All I get is a bad actress.
Yeah.
All I get is a bad actress. It's corny. Well, fuck that. And you are a fucking... Shut up, Dorit. Go. You're the worst.
Well,
Bad
we are
actor.
getting caught up on Beverly Hills. We have a few more left, but we have discovered some new shows on Peacock that have just premiered. We are loving The Ladies of London.
We are loving The Ladies of London. It's a great show.
I think it's super fresh for this type of show, too.
I mean, really, it's a Housewives clone.
It's a Housewives clone.
A Real
And also, this is kind of a facelift of a reality show that kind of got canceled. The Ladies of London, I think, had three seasons.
It's a reboot. It's a refresh of The Ladies of London. I'm assuming. I think they got a whole new cast.
Yeah. I think everyone's new.
Yeah. So it's like a brand new show, but essentially it's a Real Housewives of London with a bunch of socialites.
Which also, sign me up. We
Yeah.
love London.
Oh yeah, yeah. There's a bunch of socialites. There's one gay.
Yeah, Mark Francis.
He's friends with everybody. He's a little bitch. But yeah, these women are very interesting. It's very different from Beverly Hills in that. Well, it's similar to Beverly Hills in that they're all. I mean, I guess they're all rich. I guess they all have some means, but they're all society people.
Yeah. I mean,
but they're real society.
I have a lot to say about Martha Sitwell. I am fascinated with her.
Martha Sitwell is a standout.
Because she's kind of the real deal
She's a
when it
standout.
comes to a socialite.
Yeah.
That when you're in her little London apartment
Yeah.
with her bird, with the magpie,
She's got a damn magpie.
with this damn magpie,
lives in her house.
I kind of like Martha's just like, I don't know if I'll be here for a year. I don't know. Who knows if this works out?
in the apartment.
What is Martha's main income? I guess now it's the show.
Well, they're referring to her flat as the Grottage, the Gross Cottage, which I love.
I think it looks kind of cute.
It looks very cute, but it's also like Erica Jane would never.
It's a simple little
Erica Jane is giving
London
us
flat.
this
Yep.
storyline of that she is so poor, that she is so like slapped down to her basest level of like humility that she has to live in this shack
in this shack in Hancock Park.
that is 3 bedrooms, 15 100 square feet
with a pool.
With the pool house. Well, it's like a little cabana converted. A garage, a driveway, a private home, detached. And it's just like, look at what my life has become.
Meanwhile, Martha is just in this little one-bedroom London flat.
With the paint peeling off the walls. With the carpet.
She looks like she has a hole in her ceiling.
The carpet being ripped up on the stairs. But she's still a socialite. She's still going to these exclusive parties. She still has the wardrobe.
She's kind of the real deal when you think of a socialite, too. This is like the Holly Golightly.
I mean, yeah.
Character.
And it's like, I know that girl. I grew up with that girl. I've got tons of friends who are that girl who just go out, go to parties, go to events, go to nights out, and you're just like, wow, look at all of this. And then you go back to their place, and you're like, wow, look at all of this.
Anyways, Martha seems fun.
She's great.
Let's kind of quickly go through the other cast. Lady Emma Thine, fascinating.
Is Emma the Countess of Bath?
She is the 8th Marquess. I think Marquess of Bath. Mm-hmm. And she is kind of... I mean, there is kind of vague royalty connections with all of this, which is really interesting.
Right.
The main estate is a Saltburn level house outside of Bath that is
bigger than that.
Massive.
Yeah.
Huge.
Yeah.
Like, it's
open to the public for tours.
Lady Emma the richest housewife? I mean,
probably.
Maybe when it comes to this type of British society, maybe wealth is a little different than it is in the States.
A little liquid.
Yeah, but also stunningly beautiful too.
She's fierce,
she looks like Tandaway Newton.
So far, she's keeping her nose clean, just kind of like, what is going on?
Yeah.
Yo, bitch is crazy. Who's next?
We talked a little bit about the main gay, Mark Francis. Yeah. Lottie Kane, her whole story with the fashion designer boyfriend or husband.
Oh, Lottie. Okay, Lottie's the one that's pregnant?
Yeah.
Okay, I like her. She's cute. She's American?
I don't think
she's
so.
Not,
I think that she's English.
She's not. She's English, yes. I like her. She's got the fashion designer husband who's got like long hair and a Salvador Dali mustache, and he's just like very flamboyant and wears matching outfits from her, but he's straight as the night is long, and he just, what? That's insane. You think he's gay?
Yeah. Lottie does have some reactions that I feel like if you were to drop any of us in this type of a show, Lottie's reactions about talking about this other woman that she's a madam, and Lottie's just like, I'm not going to be talking about that.
I don't know. We'll talk about what's her name being called a madam in a minute, but Lottie just does seem fun. She seems nice, and yeah, some of her reactions are a little bit more audience like, whoa, interesting. Who else do we have on here?
Missy is the Swedish.
Missy's the model.
Is the Swedish model,
yeah.
And I think Missy, from what I've seen of those first 2 episodes, she is the most familiar with housewives. Of that, she kind of knows how to get the ball rolling with these type of shows.
I need to get these conversations
especially
started.
When they're at
we
the
talked
dinner.
about this one day. I need to bring it up here, kind of thing. Although, how much are they prompted by production? Drag Race style, who knows? But yeah, you're right. But I love Missy. She's also fierce. She shows up everywhere, tits out.
Yeah, you really like Kimmy Murdoch.
I love Kimmy.
Kimmy also has a fascinating story.
Kimmy's definitely American. She's an expat. She's been living in London for 25 years and has a very Osborne's-esque accent because it floats in and out of English and American.
Her and her husband are no longer together, but she has these twin boys that they're raising. And it kind of sounds like the husband is just now getting back into their lives too.
Yeah.
That she was at one time raising them alone. But yeah, her whole deal is fascinating. She's also somebody that you can tell she has a big mouth and she likes to talk shit.
No, she absolutely has a big mouth.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she starts things on purpose for fun.
Micah, the character of the...
Oh, Micah, yeah.
The Micah.
She's the etiquette girl.
I mean, at least you're getting a finished product when you sign up for her etiquette classes.
That's the thing. She has a product that she has a marketable skill that she can sell. I'm going to take an etiquette class. I'm going to learn things. It's a course on learning.
She's been on the Today Show in GMA.
Yeah.
talking about it. I mean, we'll get into Micah's relationship with, what's her name? Dara. Yep. And then there's also Margot. Margot is like the D-list actress that was in a independent movie called 9 Songs, which I have vague memories of. When it came out,
the deal about 9 Songs is that there's unsimulated sex in the movie, and so she's like, it's the most controversial movie in Britain. And some of the girls on the show are just like, well, you had sex on camera and you got paid for it, so what does that say?
But also, this movie is not really remembered all that much.
No.
Like, it's pretty forgotten.
Yeah. She's like, she's an actor, and I'm going to jumpstart my acting career. It's like, okay, never start.
So, we got to talk about Dara.
Yeah. This is a rare instance of someone being cast in the show not going the way they wanted, and them telling production, I don't want to do this, and they left it in.
So this has happened before. Garrett told me that this happened on the new rebrand of New York. Right. That there was somebody that filmed for a couple episodes, and they ended up scrapping all of it.
Right, but they scrapped it all, and we the audience were none the wiser. This one is, here's Dara, and production for the entire first 2 episodes was like, you don't like Dara.
As soon as they introduced Dara, okay,
viewer, we don't like her.
Something's up with Dara.
This woman is dark-sided, and she was not doing herself any favors by her attitude on the show, being very two-faced.
Immediately talking shit about Micah.
Yeah, her fellow American best friend in London. And it's like, if you went to college with someone and then now you're living in the same city abroad, and you're both women with, independent businesses and all that stuff who work in the same building, don't be flippant and just be like, we hardly know each other. That's shitty, So that led to her like bad edit. And then now there's this storyline of, well, we heard she's a madam.
Yeah.
And she's immediately like, who cares? I don't want to talk about it.
That's not how these shows work.
That's not how these shows work. You need to be mad, and you need to make someone accountable for it. And she was not doing it. And
you either be mad about it, hold somebody accountable, or you completely laugh it off and treat the whole thing like a joke. I think you have to go in either direction for something like that.
I think that's what she was trying to do by saying, like, it's so beneath me, like, I'm not even going to acknowledge it. But so yeah, she throws a party the way they throw parties on these shows, where it's just like, I'm going to have a party and you're invited. Let's all go out to dinner. But there were weird women there that were not part of the cast.
Yeah.
And when asked how they knew Dara, they were like, I don't know.
These are all just women that wanted to be on camera, to be on a reality show.
But like, it's giving like, I'm one of the girls.
Yeah.
I'm one of the girls on call.
Sure.
And I work for her. And when someone asks you, how do you know your madam or your pimp, you have a weird answer because you're flustered and you're a booker. So you're like, good question. How do I know Dara? I don't know.
Yeah, I guess I never really thought of that.
Yeah, that was the point.
So maybe these women do have...
Not hooker, sex worker.
Maybe they do have something on Dara. I don't know.
That was the point of that crazy Asian lady who was like, how did you meet Dara? I don't know. I started following her on social media and now we're friends. Mm-hmm. That's shady.
Yeah.
That's shady. And that's somebody who potentially, as me, the viewer, when it's presented that Dara's a madam, goes, oh, that's one of her girls. That's on call. And doesn't know how to answer it. And so she said, oh, and came up with a crazy, I just love her so much on socials and now we're best friends. What?
Do you know what's also something that was a little like, ooh, was when Dara was talking about her ex-fiance. Oh, so they weren't even married. Her ex-fiance, the current husband of Princess Beatrice York.
Oh, yeah.
Prince Andrew, the former Prince Andrew, his daughter.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, clearly shot a while ago.
Yeah.
That I feel like they probably wouldn't even talk about it now.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But the father of her children is now married, I think, because she said that they have a famous stepmother.
Yeah.
And it's Princess Beatrice. And you're like, ooh. I mean, nothing wrong with Princess Beatrice, didn't do anything.
No.
She's just Beatrice.
I don't know how stuff like titles work, that when her father is stripped of prince, I guess that you still hold on to being a princess.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how it works for the heirs. Mm-hmm. But I don't think the princesses have been stripped of any
But yeah,
titles.
Ladies of London, I'm having a good time with it.
Yeah, it's a fascinating show. Like we said, we love London. We have not seen any of the areas that we visited because they're all rich
They are
assholes
very, very rich.
and are spending time in different spots. But, you know, it is still very fun. And it's Housewives. And so it's a fun new cast. And I pretty much like them all. So, yeah.
What do we think of the House of Villains? We've never done a House of Villains season.
Crazy.
I'm having kind of fun with it.
No, yeah, I'm having fun. We don't watch Big Brother, so we are not familiar with the rules of head of household and banishment, and you're up for banishment and blah, blah, blah. But it seems pretty easy to follow because essentially from what I'm learning is that House of Villains is Big Brother with a new skin on it.
Sure.
With these are, you know, all
and they can leave the house.
reality show. Can they?
I don't think on Big Brother they can leave the house.
No, they can't. I'm saying, can they on this?
I mean, they take them places.
Oh. Did they?
They go out to film some of their challenges. They have their little outings when they win one of the challenges.
Oh, they went roller skating.
I think on
yeah.
Big Brother they can't leave at all.
No, they can't. And they don't have their phones. They don't have anything like that.
And on House of Villains, they have their phones.
Yeah. And I don't think it's the whole, like, cameras in the bathroom and all that stuff. Mm-hmm. Although that one chick was grinding on discount Drake impersonator.
This show is definitely giving me VH1 programming.
Oh, absolutely.
From the 2000s, which I think is kind of fun. It
VH1.
knows what it is.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But it's funny. It's funny in that way. Like, Joel is a good host, talking shit on everybody, and they're like poor fashion choices. There is a little bit of a pile on Tom Sandoval.
Yeah.
Them calling him Randall from Monsters, Inc. Is crazy.
They keep talking shit about his chin.
His chin implant. I mean,
Do you think it really is a chin implant?
Absolutely. He has a different face. Yeah. I mean, it's kind of shitty because it's like, I don't know Tom Sandoval, and it's like, that sucks to be the whipping boy. Nobody wants to be the whipping boy, but somebody's got to be the whipping boy. And it's like, hey,
it might as well be Tom,
Might as well be Tom, and maybe Tom is deserving of all of it because I didn't watch Vanderpump Rules. But, you know, all I know him from is the traitors in this.
Other highlights of the cast. I think Paul from Big Brother is kind of funny. I think he's pretty harmless.
Oh, he absolutely
I think
is.
he's entertaining to watch.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Paul is your, like, your older cousin's, like, weird Armenian friend who shops at Hot Topic way too much and, like, really loves, like, air quotes, heavy metal. But it's, like, not heavy metal. It's like
yeah, it's like Puddle of Mud or something.
Like, My Chemical Romance.
Kate Chastain from Below Deck, I think is really funny. And it makes me want to check out some of her Below Deck episodes.
She's great. Yeah.
She says some stuff about living in this house with these idiots.
Yeah. She seems the most self-aware of what's happening and of what this show is, where everybody else is just like, I don't know. Plain Jane, obviously. Fun.
PJ.
Yeah.
PJ, I like to see Plain on a show like this. Drita from Mob Wife said something that made you cackle. Did
all these jerk-offs? Yeah. Calling everybody jerk-offs, I loved. What was she doing? Was she making barbecue?
Because she was saying that she's the only one in the house that can cook, so why would they want to get rid of her?
Yeah, none of these other jerk-offs know how to make dinner. I'm the only one here, like, cooking barbecue for them. Yeah.
So funny that
Drita is kind of amazing.
So funny that Tiffany New York Pollard has been on all of these seasons. That they just know we should just bring back Tiffany.
She's just funny. She starts what we need them to start without us even prompting her.
She'll just be this House of Villains staple.
Yeah.
And then there's kind of the other ones that I don't really care about.
Yeah. The guy who was he actually on Big Brother? The blonde guy with the beard? I don't know. He got like villain, like
he was on Survivor. He was a Survivor winner.
He did like 3 seasons and he won once.
It's kind of poisoning him to be the last one standing.
I mean, a winner of Survivor on one
he
of
knows
these
how to
shows
work all of these dummies.
This is the kind of show that you're called a gamer if you go on this once and you come out alive.
But also, is Tyson the type of person that he's not going to be booking something like The Traitors or Deal or No Deal Island. Like he's getting House of Villains.
Yeah.
Probably just because his management, this is all that they could swing.
I don't know. Maybe they're thinking that you do this and then you can be in talks for traders. Yeah.
But we're having fun with it. It's pretty silly.
Yeah, it's a fun show. The challenges are stupid, but that's the thing. It's stupid, but it's intentionally, we get this. We know this is dumb, and we're going to tell you. So, yeah, I like that.
We've been renting some movies. I watched Holy Eclipse for the first time. So I had previewed this movie
Turn around, Bright Eyes.
earlier in the year when kind of doing all the movies that we're going to talk about. Total Eclipse is nowhere to be found on streaming.
No.
You need to find a physical copy of it.
Hard copy.
So
we did.
I went down to Videotech and watched it.
That's what I did. Yeah, we went down, we rented it. It is directed by Agnieszka Holland, who directed
The Secret Garden.
The Secret Garden. They directed Europa,
Yeah.
the World War II movie that will give many boys nightmares.
We never had to watch Europa.
You didn't?
For school.
Oh, we
no,
did.
that was definitely not a movie that they wheeled in on the TV.
Yeah, they did. They wheeled that one in on the TV. That was crazy. Okay, so the scene that killed us all in Europa when we watched it is this boy like escapes like the Nazis, and he's Jewish, and he blends in to like a Nazi youth camp, right? And in one scene, they're like, all right, we're going to go sit like in the sauna, and then we're going to like do like this sauna like bath situation with all the boys. And he's like, okay, he's Jewish. And the other boys are not. They're German boys. And so he like uses like thread and like folds up like his penis and makes himself like a little foreskin with like thread.
Huh.
And then afterwards they show him like taking it off, and it's like real. And all the boys in class were like, oh my God.
Oh my gosh. Why are we watching this?
This is crazy.
Total Eclipse. Maybe not a perfect movie.
Right.
There are elements of it that I like.
What is it, 94, 93?
I think it's 95.
95. Okay. So the reason that it has stuck with me for so long is,
Well,
again,
I know why.
well, not Leo's butt. I don't care about Leo's butt. He's skinny white boy. He has a Hank Hill butt. But you know, it's one of those things that, like, at the time, again,
Yeah.
there's no media, there's no nothing. So I was like, okay, this is a story about these boys, these poets. The boys. David Thewlis is a man,
Probably has about 10 years on Leo.
at least. You know, and they're living in Paris, and it's the turn of the century, and this is before Moulin Rouge. So I'm like, absinthe. What is that? You know, and like reading up on it and all this stuff. And you know, you when you're a kid and you're queer or you're whatever, you're like just looking and finding yourself. You kind of, if you're literary at all, you look into things and you look into like the like beat poetry and all that, and you look into like On the Road and all that stuff, and then you're like, this is kind of boring. But there's still something there that you're like, these artists and these poets and blah blah blah, and then they're like have this relationship and they're kissing and they're fucking and all this, and this is on camera, and it's Leonardo DiCaprio, and it's like, holy shit, this is something completely new, and it was probably on Cinemax or HBO or something, and I watched it and was just kind of fascinated, and it stuck with me. Mm-hmm. It is a little bit of a chore to get through.
Yeah.
The last half is crazy and long and drawn out, but it's a true story. But again, it's set in the same time period as Moulin Rouge, but it's a very like realistic looking movie.
Yeah.
So
a lot
like,
of drab
okay.
colors.
Yeah. But I think that they intentionally took like the look of people from that era and made it look like, well, this is what it kind of would.
Yeah.
You know, a Toulouse-Lautrec painting, but not on absinthe. Just like, this is what those ladies would look like. Kind of crazy.
I definitely saw the groundwork for a character like Jack Dawson
Absolutely.
in Leo's performance, that
Right.
you can tell that probably somebody that was casting had Jim Cameron watch this movie and just
Or
be like,
scenes from this
you
movie,
should
yeah.
you should keep your eye on that one for the role of Jack.
Arthur Rimbaud, the poet, was a teenager when he was brought to Paris, and he was supposed to be this like enfant terrible, where he just was like wreaking havoc on, you know, polite society, and he was just a little jerk, and he came from, you know, the provinces and all that. So Leo is playing this character as a little like kind of a Jack Dawson, this vagabond who just didn't fit into high society, and so you see a little bit of prototype Jack Dawson. So yeah, interesting movie.
Yeah, I'm glad that we watched it.
Will we do an episode on it? Maybe. I
don't know. But at least we got to talk about it for the weekly rewind.
Yes.
And I got a hold of a copy of it. I hope that it becomes available on something like Tubi or the Criterion Channel or something later.
Or when we start our little Redbox business. It'll be in there.
Also, another movie that is hard to track down. You need a physical copy of it. It is not on streaming. We watched Ron Howard's Cocoon.
Oh, yeah.
So I had never seen Cocoon. It was always kind of a punchline when I was growing up.
About old people.
It was about old people.
Yeah.
The what does Bianca Del Rio say? The cast of Cocoon.
Something about the cast of Cocoon. Just when in the audience.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
But I'm glad that we watched it. It was good. You can definitely tell that E.T. has made a lot of money, and we need to replicate E.T. somehow. And we're going to do it with old people. And you really saw it in the last act that I was just like, oh, this is E.T. This is the kids running away from the police officers on bikes, and it's old people on jet boats, I guess.
There's motorboats.
Motorboats,
yeah. There was a weird element of there was no danger from like the police or the authorities or anything, and then all of a sudden at the end of the movie we're running. Why? We just needed some sort of ticking clock. They could have just gone if they were just like, okay, we're going to go back to our planet needs us.
We have 5 minutes. We better make it out there.
Yeah, but no, we needed to be chased by someone. I guess I don't know, but interesting movie. All of the character actors that they trotted out from the golden age. They're all there. How many Golden Girls cameos did you count? A lot.
Counted a few.
But they all did really good jobs. They were all very charming. It made us want to watch Batteries Not Included, which we still need to watch.
Jessica Tandy was on a roll. Well, Nicole and I used to watch Batteries Not Included when we were kids.
And that's on Disney Plus.
I just haven't seen it in
that's on Disney
years.
Plus now. No, that's what I'm saying. We gotta watch
I was telling you that I had never seen Driving Mrs. Daisy. I mean, Jessica Tandy was on a roll. I famously have never seen Fried Green Tomatoes. We need to solve that soon.
I know. We need to fix that. We will. Fried Green Tomatoes is great.
But yeah, I like Cocoon.
Yeah.
It was cute.
Steve Guttenberg.
He can get it.
Get out of here.
Steve Guttenberg. It's as if Tom Hanks' career went a very different direction.
Because he looks like Tom Hanks?
I mean, they're kind of the funny guy. Like, you could easily see somebody like Tom Hanks in this role, too.
Sure. Yeah. Body is tea. We love it. You better work, Steve Guttenberg. Anything else?
I think that about does it.
Okay. We watched Primate, but maybe we could talk about that.
Yeah, we'll talk about that later.
Yeah. All right. Well, listen, kids, that wraps up the weekly rewind, but now it is time to give a little Patreon shout out.
Let's hear them.
We want to say a great big hello and thank you to all of our wonderful active patrons, including Lisa, Jonathan, Christine C., another Jonathan, John P., Teresa, Robbie, RP, Callum, Chava, Cage Barbie Clubhouse, Ronnie, Matt, Carla, Leah, Megan, Andrew, Steven, SB, Brian, Deja, Amy, Erica, Anna, our friends at How Do You Drew, Andy, Kate, Roberto, Daisy, Kelly, Chrissy, Laura, Garrett, Thomas, Lori, Brenna, Lawrence, Lisa, Alexis, Thomas, Millie, Benny, Melanie, Susan, Paul, Jamie, Drew, Genevieve, Dawn, let's see, Josh, Aaron, Nick and Shannon, Christine, and Rufino. You guys, thank you so much for being patrons.
Join the Movies That Made Us Gay Patreon at patreon.com/movies that made us gay and get awesome bonus content. We have 3 levels of tiers from a thoughtful donation at the $1 level. At the $5 level, you'll get the TV shows that keep us gay, where every month we pick a TV show and talk about it. And at the top $10 level, you'll get the Watch With Us commentary, where you can watch a movie along with us. Join today and also get a little shout out on the main feed.
Yes, indeed. You can also like and subscribe to everything, whatever podcast platform that you are on. Hopefully it is Apple Podcasts. Go ahead and follow the show so you can be alerted to new episodes, and give us a star rating and write us a review. We had a new review recently. We'd like another one. We're sitting pretty at 4.9 over on Apple Podcasts and on Spotify. If you listen there, you can give us star reviews, or star ratings or reviews on individual episodes. You can follow our socials. We are most active on Instagram at Movies That Made Us Gay. Over there on Instagram, we're, like I said, we're very active there. We join the conversation, replied comments, all that stuff. So, like posts, leave comments, share them with your friends, repost them in your stories. All that engagement helps us to reach a wider audience. If you'd like to follow our personal socials, feel free. My name's Pete. I'm at Peter Lasagna on Instagram.
I'm Scott Youngballer on Instagram, and follow my letterbox.
Thank you very much, everybody. See you next week.
Bye.
Bye.